Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome back to this second class of the academic research introduction. So we have discussed last week about beginning what this academic research is. So basically trying to define and conceptualize the meaning and definition of academic research. And we begun with also continued with looking at the semantic elements, the underlying meanings that are involved in understanding the research. So first thing is a quest of knowledge, and the question and answer, problem and then solution. Academic means a mode of human existence. These are some of the elements that are underlying behind the conceptualization of research. So we looked at the first item is always seeking the knowledge, trying to know something. Knowing is the major intent of the research, and it is the driving force of man to search for the things. And search of knowledge is one of the embedded, basic, primary, fundamental instinct that God has given to human being, just like God is. God is all-knowing God. So knowing is a very key and important character of a divine being we call God or Yahweh or Jehovah. So this biblical God he does know everything. He has this ability to know. And us human beings are limited in knowing. We do not know everything. But we like to know the things. So that's a very driving force in research. So knowledge of quest. Quest, the word quest means seeking or looking into or searching. So quest is another word for search. It's a noun form. So quest of knowledge is a key to human nature. Second semantics of the word research would be Q and A. What does a Q and A stand for? Of course, it means questions and answers. Human being, because we do not know everything, and also because we are very being who is built on the concept or the nature of curiosity. Curiosity is the human nature. Some may cost his or her life because of curiosity. People want to know, and if you do not know certain things, certain answers, when you have a question, some people are dying to know. So some people has more curiosity than others. And it's just a little difference. It's not just a little difference, but a huge difference. Some does not care, even doesn't care about not knowing about something. But some people, when they do not know something, they'll do almost anything to know that answer. See, as we live the life given to us, each day, I mean, you grow up and you continue to discover the secret or secrets of life. It doesn't have to be secret like, the spies trying to find out, but the life secret, that unknown is a secret to you, right? And every day is the experience of discovering something new or learning something new. And there is that very thrill of getting to discover these secrets in life. If you don't have questions, you will not have answers. See, the answers begin with the questions. Sometimes you do not know what you do not know. See, you don't know what you do not know. That will be the cases for many of us. But there are many things that we do not know yet. Especially when we are talking about God, the divine being, we don't know. We just know little. God is a big secret in our lives. But for man, woman is a secret. You do not know. You have still many questions. You probably married for many years. I've been married 30 plus years, but still, the woman is a mystery. Same thing for woman to man. Man becomes a mystery. Husband is a mystery. So there's secret and mystery in life that raises questions. So each research starts with a question. Always seek knowledge. Ask. C-A-S-K. We just looked at. So, do you have questions? Of course you do. You should. And do you have questions about Christianity? And questions about your pastoral life? And pastoral life. Let me define it. Try to define it. The original title of this class, supposedly, should be the pastoral research. But pastoral can mean many things. So I've changed a little bit from pastoral knowledge to the academic research within Christian context. Pastor is not just a profession, but anyone who is doing nurturing of a younger Christian, younger believer. We believe they are the pastors. So pastoral means if you are doing the nurturing for someone other than yourself, then you are a pastor and you are in pastoral context. So you may teach in a Bible class on Sundays, or you can be a associate pastor, or you can be a deacon or elder. These are all deacon, elders in a church are the pastoral positions actually. So pastoral means within the Christian context who are trying to do the work of nurturing or discipling. And another understanding of pastoral research means that you are being pastored. You are being pastored. So as a student of Christian school, Christian college, this is a pastoral context. You can have a pastoral research. So we'll understand that in that way. So if you are in pastoral context, whether you are a mentor or mentoree, whether you are teacher or the students, you are in a pastoral context, and requires pastoral research as a pastor or teacher or as a student. So that's how we will define. And by defining it, you will have so-called pastoral questions regarding how to become a better Christian, better believer, how to help someone to become a better, a mature believer. So that's a basic pastoral question. Within that question, you will have hundreds and hundreds of different questions that are coming every day into your mind. So it is good, always good to have questions, even doubts is not against unknown. It is about usually in an Asian context, even within the church, of course in a school, you are told to believe in certain things or certain facts. You are told to learn something. There are certain things that are already known, even with the pastoral context. You do not, invent your belief. You are told. You are given the information, the known, but unless it becomes yours, we don't call it belief. It's just the information, or it's someone else's belief. That would be different. So every and each doctrine that are told or known to you need to be examined. And here the re stands for again. It needs to be searched, researched, searched again. Okay, searched again by yourself. Examined by yourself. To examine something that is already known and given and told, we need to doubt. So there is a famous phrase in Christian context. You know, have you heard this phrase, doubting Thomas? Thomas is one of the disciples, one of 12 disciples that Jesus, taught for 3 years. And after he dies, and Jesus was resurrected and appears to his disciples. And look at Thomas. He says, he wasn't there at the first time, and he was told that Jesus was resurrected. And that Thomas said, "Are you kidding me? How can a person who died such a death on the cross, bleeding for hours, drained all the blood, and died and put into a tomb with a huge, humongous stone that requires 3 or 4 male healthy adults to move and roll out? There's no way that he can live again. Even if he did, there's no way he can come out of that tomb by himself. It's impossible." So he says, "Are you kidding me?" Because Peter he was the one who first saw Jesus resurrected and told Thomas. Now, what did Thomas say? "Unless I put my finger to that wound on his waist, and then put his finger to that hole in his hands," says, "I'm not going to believe it. I got to see to believe it." So that's doubting Thomas. And this doubts, we need to have these to be a good scientist. The word science, it means knowing. It means knowing. So scientist is a person who is trying to know something. So to be a good scientist, it is always mandatory to doubt the things that are already given. So to a good research, you have to be a good scientist. And good scientists always ask questions because they do not believe something they are told. As a Christian, as always, you have to be a scientist and researcher, because you cannot just believe what you're told. You cannot just take the knowledge that is already known to yours. And the question and answer, trying to find your own answer, is going to be new to you, because it might be already known to the public, known and acknowledged by everyone else, but it never has been proved or proven to you, because I have, or you have examined it yourself, researched it yourself, doubted yourself, and come up with the facts and the conclusion saying, "Oh, this is true. This is true, because I examined it, I researched it, I confirmed it, and it is true." So unless that happens, many things are still secret. Even though it's already known, it's not yours. So this is a very important thing in especially in a pastoral context, a Christian context. The research is ongoing process for any believer, any Christian who is maturing, who is trying to become better Christian. It's always, you need to ask questions and even doubt the things that you are told to believe. We don't believe because we are told to believe. See, so this is very important. You have to be convinced that this indeed is true. So again, the conviction is another big word. When you ask question, when you do research, when you do examination, when you do the investigation, and come up with answers, your own answers, and you have conviction, you are convinced. So examine, research it, and convinced. That's one important keyword in doing research. So question and answers, that would be the second biggest meaning that is underlying behind the understanding of the word research. So the concepts, it's not just the definition, we're trying to conceptualize. So to conceptualize certain word, we go through the underlying meaning, and this question and answer is a big underlying concept of research. Without question, you are not going to be research or even search. Then problem and solution, that is another key word or key concept that has to do with the research. When you face a problem, again, the reality. Reality is where we are in this particular time, the present moment. The past is no longer a reality, it's gone. The future is not reality yet. It will become reality as time goes by. And the space that I am in, this is the reality. The classroom, the camera, the computer, and then video screen, and then a whiteboard. These are the reality. And then the reality says I am teaching and speaking about the academic research. This is the reality. The people I meet, you meet, your friends, your parents, your sister, brother, that is reality. So the reality is there, but the thing is, the reality never comes without problems. You may have problem with your parents, both of them maybe, or one of them. Or you may have problem with your finance, the money. You don't have enough money to pay for the rent or even the school, tuition. So when that happens, it's a problem. So the reality always exists with problem after problem. That's human existence. Reality and existence, these are two words that I am going to use very often in all my classes. Because this is how we understand our context. The context. Context is what is surrounding you. When you become a text, you are the text and the context. The text is within the context. So it's like your house is your context when you're at home. Your school is the context when you're at classroom. So that's kind of the concept of context. And the life context is reality and existence. How you respond and react and deal with the reality becomes your way of existence called life. So your life is the reality, your reality, and your existence. And the thing is, our reality says there are hundreds and hundreds of problems after problems. Basically, having a meal. Okay, soon it's gonna be lunchtime, and become hungry. The hunger is a problem. Your problem. When you're hungry, it's a problem. So it demands a solution. It doesn't require research for hungry. But see, what am I going to eat for lunch? Going back to question and answers. You have a question, very important question. What am I going to eat for lunch? You want to eat something delicious. But the delicious things, as delicious level goes up, it becomes more expensive. And the problem is you don't have enough money to pay for those expensive meals, tasteful meals. Go to a high-end restaurant and enjoy the meal that's prepared for you with a very good atmosphere and the music and the view. See, it's going to cost you a lot. And then we don't have that kind of money to spend $100 for a lunch. No, that's too much. So I have to go and cook myself. And I'm going to have ramen for the lunch. Okay, so that's kind of a solution that you are going to come up with. So it takes us, very brief research of your own, even though you may not think it's a research still. Actually, we are doing research because you have a question and you should answer. You have a problem and you should have solutions. So question and the problem may be related, but it's not the same. Problem is not because you do not know, but it has to do with your usually it has to do your ability and or if you do not have experience on a certain problem, if you have not tackled that problem before, you have no experience, then it's a problem because you're not able to resolve or have a solution to that particular issue. So whether it's experience or ability lacking, it becomes a problem. And of course, because the problem is automatically going to raise a question, how am I going to resolve this problem? So the question is a broader, bigger category than the problem. The problem is one of the questions. And then the research is a way to come up with a solution by attempting several different options. In the process of those, doing this, dealing with the options, that you will come and face trial and error. So trial and error is evident. It is it's not an option usually. So you never come up with a solution by one trial, one attempt. So the problem and solution, these are the big, one of the, again, major concept, the semantic that is behind the word research. So when we think of research, okay, do I have a problem? So I told you last week to begin to think about the title, the subject of your research for the term paper, 10-page term paper, and you are going to choose your own subject of problem or question to answer or to resolve, to trying to find the solution within the Christian context or pastoral context. I explained what the pastoral means. So that within that context, we are trying to come up with a certain particular topic or subject of research. So what is your problem as a Christian, as a believer, as a pastor, as a teacher, or as a parent? There is a certain problem that is very important. Some problems are not that important. You don't have to really deal with it. And the time, usually time can manage and deal with it and have resolution to it. So as we face problems, we are trying to resolve it, find a solution. But when it comes to academic research, the problem is an academic one. And when it's a pastoral research, the problem is a pastoral one. So as we teach, the problem will be, how may I effectively teach preschool kids on Sunday school? And it's only 20 minutes. And how can I make a life-changing impact through that 20 minutes of preaching and sermon? See, those are the problems, and that's in the form of a question, right? So the problems usually, always, not always, but usually it comes up in the form of a question. So think of those problems that you need to deal with as a believer, as a Christian, within the pastoral context. And we are to come up with a solution. Sometimes it's a temporary solution, sometimes it's a lifetime solution, but we come up with the solution. let's take a short break and I'm going to come back. Hi, I'm back. Okay. This is third semantic of this research. Research usually when we talk about the research in general language, in English language, it means academic. We don't have to say academic research. Usually it does have that semantic behind it, meaning the underlying meaning already suggests the research usually is academic. Academic means today in modern English is something that happens within an educational institution, such as elementary school, junior high school, high school. But the research level of research that we are asking and demanding and studying for today is beyond high school level, including some high school. I mean, in America, you teach the research in high school level. So, academy means either high school, college, or beyond college. But until the college, your research is going to be limited to the very minimal top. Actually, you are just learning and doing practicing the research until the college or university level. That's why we call it undergraduate. Undergraduate means you're not graduated or developed or upgraded yet. So graduate school means that you are at the level of doing research. That's why the master's or master of arts degree, it requires writing of theses. And to write a thesis on a given topic, you need to be able to do the research, formal academic research. And master level, you are not really required to develop a new theory yet, but try to come up with some different perspective about the subject. That probably is usually the requirement at the master level. But in the PhD, a professional degree, not, it does require you to come up with a new theory or new understanding about a subject. That's how much academic it can be. But academic basically is learning process or learning institution. Being academic in the past education or educational institution, it requires lots and lots of reading. And the doctoral level, you are required to read 2,000 plus pages of reading for each subject. The 700, 800 level of the classes. So 2,000 pages, that's a lot to read in one semester. And you're not taking only just one subject, but you can you're taking 2 or 3 different subjects at the PhD level. That means you 4,000, 6,000 pages of reading. So being academic, usually it meant lots of reading of books. But nowadays you do the readings not only with these books, but you have virtual books, and then you have all the articles and documents that are online. So online is also your computer may be added to this picture to be academic. So today academic takes a little more broader meaning than it used. Anyway, doing a research, it does take a lot of these material and resources that to be covered, because you have some previous knowledge, the known, already known. Without studying the known, that you do not know what you do not know. So, see, the secret is already no longer a secret many times. The only thing is that you have not worked to uncover that secret. And the only way to uncover the secret is to see if someone has already investigated that question and problem. So we discussed about this problem and solution, and then question and answers. See, many of these questions, actually the most of the questions and the problems that you have encountered or encountering as a reality, as you pursue the reality toward the existence, it's already been tested, examined, researched, and it becomes known. By reading, doing learning at the school or educational institutions, and by doing these studies of the reading of books, this knowledge becomes yours. You attain. You attain these knowledges, and then you make it your own. So that's the word and the concept of academy. So that's why we come to school. To learn. And as in sense, it's all this big process of research. So coming to school and sitting there and then listening to the lecture and processing this knowledge and information and writing term paper, taking exam, all this is a process of research. Again, we come to that word, existence. So the research is a common form of life existence. How you pursue and answer the question of existence. How to resolve the problem of existence. So when we say a research, whether it's pastoral or academic, just general academic research like sociology and chemistry field. So it has to do with the human existence, your individual personal existence. So we constantly doing the research by asking questions and finding answers, and facing problems and finding the solutions. That's the process of research. And the only difference in academic research is more systematic, and you have to do the writing and of so-called the documentation in a certain in a certain manner and given structure. So that would be the only difference. Many times you are not leaving a record, you leave that into your memories, the problems and the questions you had, and then you do the trial and error and come up with the best answers or best resolutions. That's the way our life is. So try to look at your life as existence, as a research, your Christian existence, your pastoral existence, the pastoral reality that given as a member of the Church of God and the Church of Jesus Christ. As you come to a church, the institution, you are required to answer the questions or answer the problems, resolve the problems. That's what the pastor is. That's who the teachers are. That's who the Christian parents are. So you are in the position to resolve the issues of reality, and that requires research. You don't just suddenly get to know all the answers. No, that's not how it happens. By making attempts and making mistakes and making improvements, that's how we reach the best answer or the best solution. See, so the existence is a key concept of understanding and research. Academic research comes out with the answer to the human existence. Because, see, no chemistry or biology or sociology is done without the ultimate purpose, ultimate goal of trying to improve human existence as a community. And all the reason for this, all academic fields are aiming to improve our existence by contributing some answers and some solutions to our existing problems. For example, we have suffered whole year, 1 year, with this coronavirus. And the doctors and the biologists and all these different field chemists, they come together to find a resolution, which is a vaccine. And they have developed many different kind of vaccines already, which usually take 5 or 10 years to develop in most cases. But this case, they have developed within 1 year, less than a year. And that's a very remarkable achievement. And the problem is this, the virus called Corona-19 is getting people sick and even getting people die. That's the problem that we are facing. And the problem is spreading very fast and rapidly. So the human generation is trying to come up with the solution to resolve that problem. And then it took a lot of research hours, hundreds, probably a million hours of all these different persons, each contributing certain given hours and effort, energy, and their expertise and skills, knowledge to this resolution of problem. That's what the research is. So that's not only academic research as medical research, right? So pastoral research, what do? We are trying to improve or develop a person who are more like Jesus Christ to that full status of Jesus Christ. That's the whole intention and object of. So the question of the existence, we want them, our people, including yourself, to exist in a way that Jesus had existed 2,000 years ago when he walked and talked and lived with other people as a Messiah. So that's what the pastoral research is about. And how do we do that? We'll continue to discuss that. But before we go into how, we need to understand the very semantics of this language, the term called research. The nature of existence, human existence, it does require the research. Where is it? Yeah, research. And we have some other important concepts, and as we try to define and understand the research. And research defined, this is plus. Research as. So these are some of the other perspectives or understandings or concepts of research. And by studying these, I hope and wish that you have come up with a better understanding of the word research or the concept. So we are actually going into more detailed, specific the elements of research. First one is research as an intellectual activity that demands a set of rational, logical, and judgmental process. So it's a process. Research is basically a process. It's an ongoing process until you get the answer. Even after you think you get an answer or a solution, another question arises again. Is it going to be a better solution or better answer? Because we are not perfect. Your research is not going to be perfect, and we continue to ask further questions or try to find something that is better, more accurate, and more close to the truth. So it's always ongoing process. So try to understand research as not an event, but as a continuing process, or even the lifetime process. And it's an basically intellectual ability or activity, activity. So we use that brain cells to do the research. So it's a very demanding intellectual process. And it's also complex. No research is simple enough that you do not need to use your intellect. No, that doesn't happen. So when we do the research, it always requires your the intellectual ability. So it's an intellectual ability activity, and it demands a set of skill. It's set of skill, not just one particular gift or skills or talents. It does require different set of skills or talents or ability that you have, and which has to be rational. Rational is simply saying it does make sense. It doesn't make sense. See, it shouldn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense to others, your research is not a research, it's a fanatic activity. You're claiming your own, theory or your own thinking, and it's fanatic. Simple word, you're crazy. So it has to be rational, meaning others would agree to what you have found, and not only others has to be agreed, but the process, it has to be rational. You cannot just jump to the conclusion without middle process. And it has to be logical, meaning B has to come after A, and C has to come after B. That's how the alphabet order is. That's logical. And then there's cause and effect. You cannot say the concluding effect without cause, or you can just present cause and finish your research there without the pointing out the effects. So that's one example of being logical. You cannot put the future into the place of past. That's being illogical. The past is there, present comes, then the future will come. That's how the logic is saying. The 1 + 1 in mathematics should be 2. That's logical and also rational. See, and then research is judgmental. You are either making selections out of many, or throwing out the wrong, making the judgment of right and wrong, or best or better, or worse or worse. These are the kind of judgments, of value judgments, that we are going to make as a researchers. So we are deciding the course of action by determining which would be the best for the now. By looking at the reality, and we are determining existence in life, but in a pastoral and academic research, same thing happens. We are making that value judgment. So it's a judgmental process. Judgment after judgment. Decision after decision. Setting the priority after priority. So that's how we process the research. So trying to understand the concept, the word research, the concept, we need to come up with these things. So again, research is an intellectual activity that demands a set of rational, logical, and judgmental process. So it's a continuing process. Second, research as an encounter against the given reality to promote the most appropriate existence. Again, It is explained in the form of reality, in terms of reality and existence. So research has to do with the given reality, whether it's a biological reality, whether it's chemical reality, whether it's a sociological reality, or whether it's pastoral reality. There is a given set of reality that you have to deal with. And when it is, these are academic fields like biology and chemistry and so on, and then it's an academic research. And when that reality is like a mission, a Christian mission, it's a missiology, and missiological research. As a missiology, it becomes your reality. So the reality, you tackle the given reality, and then reality, those reality again presents the questions and then problems. See, always the reality again. I'm emphasizing this. The given reality, the human existence, the context that we are in, whether it's pastoral, academic, or whatever. It does present you with the questions and the problems. No life is without question or problem. When you have, money can be a problem in either way. You have no money, or you may have too much money. See, having too much money can be a problem as well. See, so, sometimes you think as a resolution, that as a solution, but that solution may present another problem. So it continues to be problematic. The human existence is full of problem and question. And so is biology. Again, so the research is an encounter, meaning it's going against. You're dealing with, you're reacting to. You're trying to face it. That's an encounter. Encounter against the given reality to promise, or to process, or to find and encourage it. That's promise. The most appropriate existence. It depends on, what you think is appropriate. That's another issue. But the goal of research, or the concept of research, is to find out and then promise the most appropriate existence. Again, another easy word is best existence. What's the best existence? Means answering the question, finding the best answers, or finding the best solution or solutions. Or if you cannot find the best solution, better solution would be the best on the given reality. See, so sometimes better would be the best, and the good would be the best. That depends on. But that's why we use the word appropriate instead of best, because ideally speaking, we know what the best is. You may know what the best is, but given reality prevents from that reaching that ideal, and the word would be appropriate, best for the given situation and the time and the context. That would be the appropriate. So the research is not always reaching the ideal. That's not the case. Usually 99% of the time, your researcher will find something less than ideal, less than the best. And that's the reality of the research. Especially when we are doing the research within the pastoral context, there are so many factors that prevent us from being the ideal, which is Jesus Christ. No, that's really, really high standard, high mark to reach. And pastoral research is trying to reach that ideal, the best. But having limiting result at 10%, 20%, that's not called a failure. In the process, it's a process. It's growth. It's called development. So in the pastoral research, there is never a failure, and you may not fully successful, or you may not be fully satisfied. That's okay. That's okay. But there is never a failure, because the effort is that matters. Trying to reach the answer or the solution, but you will come up with a solution or an answer, and those answers and the solutions will accumulate eventually to make it better every day. So we keep effort of encountering reality and trying to improve our existence, especially in the pastoral context. That will be the truth. Research as a very useful tool to enrich one's aptitude. Aptitude, let me try to explain from back to forward. Aptitude means aptitude is ability to learn, or capability of knowledge. So it's either your ability and capability regarding the knowledge and experience. So good or better aptitude means you have better capability, better knowledge, better ability. So one's aptitude, ability to learn or capacity to learn will be increased or enriched by doing the research. So research is a good tool to make you a better student, a better scientist, a better scholar. So research, doing a research, that's why the master's level graduate program and then a doctoral program is requiring you to the research, because that is not the only way, but it is one of the best tools to make you learn. So in other words, the research is a very helpful, useful tool that you can use. I mean, reading is good, but that is only a part of research. If you're only reading, you're just gaining the known knowledge, and you are not going to be able to be creative, or you are not academically challenging or pastorally challenging. So as a pastor, as a teacher in a Christian context or in a church, you're always being challenged to do the things differently. Not because it's good to be different, but because your pastoral context, your church, your students, your disciples are constantly changing. Because they are changing, you need to bring the change to them. If you do the things the same as before, it may work to a certain level, but it's not going to be accommodating. It does not accommodate your particular needs that is newly developed or newly arrived. And the thing is, every single day, there's a new things, new needs, new situations, new problems, new questions arising among your people. So that demands a new approach and research. So to help them to become better, research is a must. Okay, I think time is up for the today, this week, and thank you for listening and being very attentive. And I'll come to see you next week. And remember, we have that assignment of, thinking about the subject of term paper. Thank you. Bye. See you next week.